Otumfo said to the second, those were two grand people of the Brotherhood of God.
Was under the leadership of Brother Otumfo Sir Ajiman Prempe II. The de facto director of schools under the Presbyterian Church was Brother E.M.L. Ojija. The results of the collaboration and synergy between the two craftsmen has been a boon to young men from all over Ghana and perhaps even beyond. Their mutual respect and cohesive spirit continued even after Brother, the Right Reverend E.M.L. Ojija, became moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana for 2 sessions from 1958 to 1966. In the late 70s into the 80s, education in Asantehene continued to receive staunch support once again as a result of a productive partnership between two craftsmen. The illustrious Brother Otumfo Opokuware II and the then National Director of Schools and Colleges, my father, Brother Alexander Niblebo Andrews. The sublime teachings of the craft were giving practical manifestation through the quiet, mutual support of these two masons. And once again, the beneficiaries were the youth of our country, who were provided with an excellent and affordable education to enhance our national development. The third generation from our family compound at Osu, Teshi, Kolechong, Uduma Sikrobo, and Abokubi was therefore ready to heed the call of Asantehene when a discreet request was made for medical expertise in the late 90s. Quote, when you get to Manshia, greet your senior brother, Brother Otumfo Opokuware, with the grip. And if he asks you, tell him who you are. Tell him about your grandpa and extend my heartfelt fraternal greetings to him. Go, my son, and do your best for him. God, the divine architect, being your helper. Unquote. Those were the words of my father to me as I left for the airport to fly to Kumasi. And so it transpired As soon as I offered my royal host the token, he asked his retinue to retire, and we shall leave it at that. 25 years ago, I was here at the temple at the Hujo Runabout when another royal retinue was asked to retire. Our grand patron, our now grand patron, had arrived to be initiated into the craft. The mood was tense, the air electric and fraught with expectation and high drama. But in the true tradition of Freemasonry, the monarch set aside his temporal titles and privileges to undergo the procedural steps that every craftsman in all quarters of the globe from time immemorial has endured. What followed was a moving rendition and execution of an ancient ritual to cement the awesome beauty and dignity of our gentle craft. Among the participants and primary actors that day were numerous senior and stellar brethren, many of whom have since been summoned to the Grand Lodge above. But there is no doubt that they have formed a cloud of witnesses who have assisted our Grand Patron on his Masonic journey. That day, I, a lowly master mason among the grandees, was the only craftsman in the temple wearing the ebony and ivory regalia of Achimota Lodge, the colors which, in the immortal words of Brother Dr. James Kwege Agri, also known as Agri of Africa, symbolize the brotherhood of man. So, it is providence that has brought me to the floor of Grand Lodge today to fulfill and sustain a solid tradition of quiet and fruitful cooperation between my family compound and the Asantehene dynasty. I am no disinterested observer. No. Far be from it. It is certainly not so. It is not possible. Today, our unshakable duty and responsibility is to proceed in true Masonic style, to enter the quarries with our working tools and hew stone that will enable us to construct the magnificent edifice of enlightenment and truth in the history and the symbols that surround us, to read the book of nature and through grace discern the perfect plan of the great architect of the universe. We pray that our darkness will be turned into light. Most worshipful grandpa, I once again implore you to instruct the brethren and the distinguished guests. We shall sing verse 2. Most worshipful Grandmaster, We will now look for the banyan tree and try to discover its genuine secrets. The Masonic altar remains an altar of inclusiveness and tolerance. It is an altar of freedom. On it are arranged the sacred writings of many faiths. Each brother takes his obligations according to his religious allegiance. For our brothers from the East, the sacred writings include the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. They recall that the Buddha spent 7 days in serious meditation under the banyan tree in order to gain enlightenment. That particular tree, the banyan tree, holds a special place in their faith with far-reaching and instructive symbolism and genuine secrets. That tree has long been recognized as a living altar, and a link between the past, present, and future. It grows to a gargantuan size and living for many centuries, thus connecting generations as a symbol of life, longevity, stability, growth, and vitality. The mesmerizing scale and complexity of the organic architecture has made the banyans the tree of poets, wanderers, contemplatives, a refuge for travelers, rebels, and free thinkers, and dare I say so, Freemasons. Nearer home, the same tree holds a unique place in the history of Asantehene. Legend has it that 3 such trees were planted in 3 different locations by the sagacious priest Anoche. The one which survived became the location of the capital of Asantehene. In short, the kum tree, which is the same as the banyan tree, became the site of the vibrant capital, Kumasi, literally meaning under the kum tree, or if you prefer, under the banyan tree. The first Asantehene, Otumfo said to the first, sat under the kum tree in order to negotiate and acquire land for the capital of what became a powerful confederacy and a dynasty that has lasted over 300 years. Is it a surprise that the banyan or kum tree is known to last 500 years or more? Its roots grow down from its branches and form trunks that anchor the tree to the earth with several feet, akin to the soul that never dies nor renews. It represents the vehicle to spirituality, devoid of all materialistic urges. Not unlike the evergreen of the craft, the banyan or kum tree also symbolizes immortality. Our inquiries become even more interesting once we remember that the banyan or kum tree is also a fig tree. A fig tree. This is one of the fruit trees named in several of the sacred writings as being present in paradise. From Genesis to the book of Revelation, there are over 40 verses devoted to the fig tree and its potent symbolism. Several of the parables of the Galilean master refer to the kum or fig tree. Certain spiritual traditions regard the fig tree as the tree of knowledge. Others regard it as the tree of life. In our present epoch, where we are threatened with mass extinctions, it is pertinent for us to remember that the banyan, kum or fig tree is known to sustain over 1,000 bird and mammal species. We are gathered here today under the banyan, kum or fig tree, or simply put, at Kumasi, to honor a revered and illustrious brother, most worshipful brother Otumfo Tutu II. Armed with a fair understanding of the history and spiritual symbolism of the kum tree, let us now turn our attention to how our stalwart and zealous brother has fulfilled over the last 25 years its potent attributes in making himself an exemplar of and an ornament to our ancient craft. There is much to discover. There is much to savor. And there is much to emulate. Most worshipful Grandmaster, I once again implore you, I ask the brethren and the distinguished guests to please be upstanding and let us sing the third verse. Most worshipful Grandmaster, we will now examine the Jubilee account or record. We left off after a full appraisal of the majestic, beautiful, exotic, heroic, mysterious, and magnificent banyan, kum, or fig tree. We were in search of its genuine secrets. This is where our revered brother has been seated for the last 25 years, beneath its undeniable presence that exudes a noble and timeless benevolent aura. And in that capacity, what has he been able to achieve? What are the facts and the evidence? Let us limit ourselves to our favored number of 3. It is not for us as Freemasons to offer a lengthy encomium. Others do that much better than us. It is not Masonic style. First, as a craftsman, the most worshipful brother, the Grand Patron, has continuously tried to knock off his excrescences and aimed to smoothing his ashlar. Thus, in his dedicated efforts, he has devoted himself to the tenets of the craft, always eager to give them their highest interpretation, both within and outside the lodge. None of his working tools show a hint of rust on them, and certainly not the tireless sword of his heart. His use of the chisel has been relentless and formidable, thus championing education in our protracted, epic national struggle against the hydra-headed monster of poverty, ignorance, and disease. He has been assiduous and resilient in holding the scales of justice with equal poise, hence being a credible broker for peace and tolerance even in communities that have long been at loggerheads. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they will be called the sons of God. Volume of the Sacred Law, Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. Perhaps, his talents in this particular area of peacemaking could and should be brought to bear on the international stage in order to prevent tragic loss of life, especially of wholly innocent women and children. Second, by strict adherence to the Masonic rule and line, Most Worshipful Brother, the Grand Patron, has been a calm voice of reason and the total avoidance or dampening down of the banality of avarice and profusion during the last 25 years of our still fledgling democracy. Some of us sleep a little more easily, but always with one eye open though, knowing that He's there to corral the excesses of those who certainly ought to know better. In this manner, He has provided transformational societal leadership, utilizing His skill as a genuine professor of the craft, and that must be consolidated and sustained well into the future. Third, to speak of and try to recount the Grand Patron's acts of benevolence and charity is to walk into a minefield where one must perforce tread very, very cautiously. As a true craftsman, there is hardly any doubt that most of his acts of relief are done discreetly and without any fanfare. But even the examples that we know of through his philanthropic institutions have been formidable and life-changing for numerous people. The Grand Lodge itself has been a regular recipient of his monumental support and benevolence, and the brethren are unanimous in expressing their eternal debt of gratitude. For the Asantehene dynasty, located under the banyan or kum tree, of which our esteemed Grand Patron is the current occupier of the golden stool, in this Jubilee year, we are emboldened to chant with confidence in the same manner and spirit as we approach the altar in the sublime degree of Master Mason. Freemasonry yesterday, Freemasonry today, Freemasonry tomorrow, Freemasonry forever, all until the world shall, according to the perfect plan of the Almighty Architect, not need Freemasonry anymore. Most Worshipful Grandmaster, as Africans, with our own sovereign Grand Lodge, the Grand Lodge of Ghana, we know that there are powerful sacred truths embedded in the teachings of our craft. We must continue to harness and explain them to improve ourselves, each brother, one brother at a time. On this historic occasion, nothing now remains but with deep reverence to offer the following prayer while prostrating ourselves before the blinding majesty of our Creator. May the great architect of the universe continue to shower his blessings on our Grand Patron. May he provide our Grand Patron wisdom to discern and strength to execute the will of the eternal architect as revealed in Freemasonry, the sacerdotal art, and thus create and sustain beauty and harmony. And may he continue to hold all of us and our grand patron in this Jubilee year and beyond in the palm of his majestic hand. Most worshipful Grandmaster, most worshipful, the Grand Patron of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, most worshipful Grandmasters, present, past, and honorary, Deputy Grandmasters, present, past, and honorary, brethren all, and distinguished guests, I thank you all most sincerely for your kind attention.
I have been asked that you should give me a second round of applause. Be seated. Brother Dr. Andrews, we are grateful to you for the paper you have presented to us. No words can express. I have been asked that you should give me a second round of applause. Be seated. Brother Dr. Andrews, we are grateful to you for the paper you have presented to us. No words can express our appreciation for what you've done, except by saying, Yeta wasipa. You have given us, to some extent, the relationship between your family and the Goldings too.
The Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, the Grand Master and Patron of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, the Otumfo of Ashanti Kingdom, most worshipful Deputy Grandmasters, right worshipful brethren, and our guests. I want to say I am so elated to be here this evening. And this is the first time we are witnessing this kind of ceremony. So well prepared. And I think we are going to copy your example.
Royalties. Royalties.
I want to bring fraternal greetings from my most watchful Grandmaster, Kingdom Chief OCJ Okosha, OFRO, the most watchful Grandmaster of the Grand Lodge of Nigeria, who has asked me to come and represent the Grand Lodge of Nigeria as the most watchful Grandmaster designate. I'm here with a delegation of about 6 brethren. With me is the Provincial Grandmaster of the Provincial Grand Lodge of Western, Otumba Arobeke, and a high chief in Yoruba Kingdom, Are Olufuru, and other brethren who accompanied me here. Well, I don't want to take much of your time, but on this occasion, I have personal gifts which I want to present to the Grand Master and the Program Master. Sorry. As banquet. All right. Thank you. Okay, I've been advised I will do that at the banquet. So for now, I want to wish all of you well. Thank you.
Call on the representative of the Grand Lodge of Togo, Assistant Grand Master in charge of leading the delegation.
Most worshipful Grand Master, most worshipful Grand Patron, it's the first time I'm attending such a ceremony, and I'm so impressed that I don't know what to do. So, as you know, our Grandmaster, our acting Grandmaster, would like to be part of this celebration. But according to some circumstances beyond his control, he has asked me to be here. And I will tell him what we have seen. That's the first time. I know that you have very, let's say, a very known kingdom, and we respect that. That's today, nowadays in Africa, when we talk about Ghana, it is very good symbol, Ashanti Kingdom. And it's really, for us, a good pleasure that the Grand Patron is member of Freemasonry. People have to know that Freemasonry is very good for us in our societies. And when they know that he is member of this association, I think all over the world they say, yes, people would like to attend to join us. So I would like to congratulate you, to congratulate the Grand Lodge for the anniversary, and of course, the Grand Patron for his anniversary too. So agree to you, well. Thank you for your support. Long live.
Is it the Grand Master? Last week, he had an installation in the Grand Lodge of Benin. Somehow the Grand Master has appointed somebody to represent him. So we want to hear what our new Grand Master has to say.
Most worshipful Grand Master, most worshipful Grand Patron, right worshipful brothers and brethren all. I I bring here fraternal greetings from Right Most Worshipful Brother Mathieu Lawson, Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Benin. He sends his congratulations to you and to all the brothers of the Grand Lodge of Ghana for your 15th anniversary and wishes you continued stability. He also sends his congratulations to Most Worshipful Grand Patron for his 25th anniversary and wishes you long life and the protection of the Almighty. Indeed, I will second my colleague. It's the first time I attend to a ceremony like this, and in the Francophone world, we're not used to have Masonic events with profanes, non-Mason. But if we are here to do good, it's a good way of sharing our values with people we love. So I must admit I've received my salary coming here. Thank you very much for that. And I will finish by thank you also for the hospitality we have received here coming in Ghana. Thank you.
Dupel, Grand Lodge of Quebec, I greet you. It's an real honor for me to be here today to represent the Grand Lodge of Quebec. There was the recognition between the two Grand Lodges not far ago. I believe 2 months, if I don't mistake. At this time, I'm speaking right at the moment, we are holding our Grand Assembly in Montreal. We were in Benin last week when I met the Grand Secretary, my brother Babakar, and we were chatting, and my Grandmaster came to be aware about the rent. And he said, "You will be going." I can't say no. And I'm so happy that I agreed. What I've seen here today, or since yesterday, I think my phone is beeping. Everybody wants to know how things are going, because this is the first time Quebec is coming to Ghana. So I'm delighted to be here, and I won't keep you. I know that we will be having time to chat on the side, and I know the night will be long. Thank you for having me, Grandmaster, Grand Patron. Congratulations on your celebration. Thank you.
From the Methuselah of Grand Lodges in Africa. Alex. He says he wants to confirm.
Master of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, Most Worshipful, the Grand Patron of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, visiting Grand Masters, heads of delegation, deputy Grand Masters, our distinguished visitors and friends, brethren of the mystic tie. Today is a happy day for me again. I was here 5 years ago, and we celebrated with the Grand Patron 20 years on the throne. We are here again today to celebrate the civil jubilee of your enthronement, and sit as you sit on the high stool. Grand Patron, Liberia has been trying. We will continue to try. And we always say in unity, there is strength. As long as we continue to work together, we will have strength and we will be stronger. Today, we have come to congratulate you and to congratulate the Grand Lodge of Ghana. We want to thank you for the hospitality
that you have given to all of us visiting here today. We say God will continue to bless craft masonry. Most worshipful Grand Patron, today I had the distinguished honor and pleasure from the oldest Grand Lodge in Africa to confer on you the distinguished title as the most worshipful Grand Patron of the Grand Lodge of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you. We honor you, sir. We will continue to honor you. And we say that we can only wish that your reign will continue to be successful, and that God will bless you on the throne, and that your families ahead of you. Thank you, my dear brethren. Thank you all, and may God bless us all. Thank you. We erected a memorial wall where we memorialize our brethren and our great men. And your past Grand Master, Brother Stanley Pierre, is the one that brought Liberia back to the fold. Our first meeting was under his reign as Grand Master of this Grand Lodge. And we are sorry that we are not able to go and see him before we leave. But from Liberia, we brought a citation which reads, you can see, symbolically, I will turn over to our DC. Please ensure that our brother Stanley Pierre receives this, and to know that his name is planted on the memorial wall at the most worshipful Grand Temple in Liberia. And it's going to be there forever. And we'll continue to plant names on that memorial wall so that as people come by, they will see who has been here and who will continue to be here and who has passed this way before. Thank you, brother. Please give Stanley Pierre our distinguished honor, and we wish him well and hope that his health will continue to improve. God bless you, and God bless Brother Stanley Pierre and the Grand Lodge of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you.
I'll do exactly so, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, our visiting delegation, members of our visiting delegations. On this occasion, we would have called for the first time the leaders of the foreign constitution working in Ghana. Unfortunately, the district Grand Master finds another Messianic duty in West Africa as important as this one, and he's not here. So we go ahead with our own ceremony. Brethren, time is gone, and I think we should try to save as much time as possible. Before then, we are here to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the initiation of our master, and I call upon the oldest Freemason here, the brother with the longest service in Freemasonry, now in the room, most worshipful brother Nana Ankwana the First, the Tufuhene of the Silver Stool of Asante, to pin this on the lapel of our Grand Patron, the 25-year jewel. one of these addresses will have to be cancelled. I'll therefore give a short address here and give a fuller and longer one at the festive board. Brethren from the Grand Lodges represented here will kindly note that because of this communication, no invitations were sent out for our annual communication held exactly a fortnight ago. Believe me, this omission was intentional, as we wanted brethren to assist us to honor our grand patron. Notwithstanding the inconveniences we have had to go through, we think this can be compensated for with your presence at His Royal Majesty's celebration of the following anniversaries. Celebration of his 75th birthday, as he, by the grace of God, completed the full 74 years on this sublunary abode, bury a man for go. It is his 75th birthday because I reckon correctly that in one's first birthday is when he was born, not his first anniversary. Yes, when he was born, that was his first birthday. He celebrated the 74th anniversary of his birth. Celebration of the 25th anniversary of his installation as Otumfo. Celebrating the Akwasidaa Kese with all its pomp and custom, with the sacred Sikejwa, that's the golden stool, exhibited. Commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Sagrenti War, and to us as Freemasons, and especially in the Grand Lodge of Ghana, this year marks the Silver Jubilee celebration of the third Asantehene, exchanging the scepter for the trowel in the lodge, and that lodge bears his name, Osei Tutu Lodge. We hope you have had the opportunity to inspect the new Prempeh the First Airport, and also the Menchia Museum, which houses historical emblems and artifacts of Asante. And also, for now, the articles looted by those who felt envious of the independence and the bravery of the true Africans, as exhibited in Ashanti in those years. We must apologize, brethren, that at the soiree yesterday, not all the expected brethren were present. This was due in part to the fact that flights could not be properly coordinated, and also the members of the events committee had to work in Accra till the late hours of the day, and so could not be here. We thank you, visiting brethren, our visitors, and everybody, for accepting to be here for this event. Let me, as usual, one of these addresses will have to be cancelled. I'll therefore give a short address here and give a fuller and longer one at the festive board. Brethren from the Grand Lodges represented here will kindly note that because of this communication, no invitations were sent out for our annual communication held exactly a fortnight ago. Believe me, this omission was intentional, as we wanted brethren to assist us to honor our grand patron. Notwithstanding the inconveniences we have had to go through, we think this can be compensated for with your presence at His Royal Majesty's celebration of the following anniversaries. Celebration of his 75th birthday, as he, by the grace of God, completed the full 74 years on this sublunary abode, bury a man for go. It is his 75th birthday because I reckon correctly that in one's first birthday is when he was born, not his first anniversary. Yes, when he was born, that was his first birthday. He celebrated the 74th anniversary of his birth. Celebration of the 25th anniversary of his installation as Otumfo. Celebrating the Akwasidaa Kese with all its pomp and custom, with the sacred Sikejwa, that's the golden stool, exhibited. Commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Sagrenti War, and to us as Freemasons, and especially in the Grand Lodge of Ghana, this year marks the Silver Jubilee celebration of the third Asantehene, exchanging the scepter for the trowel in the lodge, and that lodge bears his name, Osei Tutu Lodge. We hope you have had the opportunity to inspect the new Prempeh I Airport, and also the Menchia Museum, which houses historical emblems and artifacts of Asante. And also, for now, the articles looted by those who felt envious of the independence and the bravery of the true Africans, as exhibited in Ashanti in those years. We must apologize, brethren, that at the soiree yesterday, not all the expected brethren were present. This was due in part to the fact that flights could not be properly coordinated, and also the members of the events committee had to work in Accra till the late hours of the day, and so could not be here. We thank you, visiting brethren, our visitors, and everybody, for accepting to be here for this event. Let me also thank the members of the events committee for planning this event and participating in it. Thank you. But we shall now listen to address by the Grand Patron. But before we sit down to listen, brethren, we shall sit down to hear him. Give us the tune. We are coming. Brethren.
Most worshipful Pastor, brethren all, I welcome all present to this special communication of the Grand Lord to mark the Silver Jubilee of the Asantehene, and second, as a Freemason. I extend special welcome to the Grand Masters and leaders of visiting Grand Lord delegation. And I think I want to mention their names here because I have them here. Most worshipful Brother Anthony Deline II, Grand Master, Grand Lord, Republic of Liberia. And I thank you very much for the honor done me today. This honor goes to all the Grand Lodge of Ghana. So I take it and I accept it in the name of Grand Lodge of Ghana. I thank you very much. Right Worshipful Brother Elvis Komlavi, that is the Grand Senior Warden, Quebec. Right Worshipful Brother Tahir Ben Murad, Assistant Grand Master GL Côte d'Ivoire. Thank you. Your president was here to see me last time. Thank you. Right Worshipful Brother Rouse Simon, Assistant Grand Master, National Grand Lodge of Togo. Thank you for coming. Right Worshipful Brother Jane Yves Fakwena. Now my friend should come. Jane Yves Fahoni, Fabomi, Grand Chancellor, Grand Lodge of Benin. Thank you very much for coming. And Right Worshipful Chief Osiobo Okotie, Grand Master Designate, Grand Lodge of Nigeria, thank you for coming. I also welcome the representative of the District Grand Master of the District Grand Lodge of Ghana, English Constitution, and all other brethren here present. I also welcome our ladies and invited non-Mason friends. Good evening and welcome. Let me express my sincere appreciation to the most worshipful brother, Osei Atwene Bonsu, most worshipful Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, and the Board of General Purposes for initiating and organizing this convocation. It is appropriate that I also congratulate our Grand Lodge on its 15th year since its consecration, and especially for including our dear ladies to join us today. I am informed that the oldest Grand Lodge in Africa, the 157-year-old Grand Lodge of Liberia, strongly represented here today, has a female section, just as in England. This may be a great opportunity to discuss the formation of lodges of ladies to be attached to the Grand Lodge. And I'm sure with a clapping, my brethren of the Grand Lodge will not hesitate to support such a move. Meanwhile, among us today are gentlemen who are yet to see the light in Freemasonry. The members who invited you did so, convinced that you have the potential to be worthy Freemasons.